Hello and welcome. I am Stacey Thomas, author, ALS advocate, film producer, and talk show host. I'm here to motivate, educate, and entertain. Join me on YouTube every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Stacey Thomas Talk Show, where we have powerful discussions centered around health, relationship, careers, and everyday conversation. Follow me on Facebook, I am Stacey Thomas, on Instagram, Stacey Thomas Talk Show. And don't forget, I can promote you too. Email me at IamStaceyThomas@gmail.com. Now, it's time for the show. Wait a second. I was muted. Hello, everyone. Hello. I am Stacey Thomas, unrestricted, unlimited, all day long. Why do you ask? I'm glad you asked. It's because I don't want to be put in a box. God does not want you to put me in a box, right? All that I've seen him do, I still have yet to see all that he's gonna do in my life. And tonight's a new night. We're doing it on a Monday, right? I know you probably say, Stacey, be consistent. I am gonna get better at being consistent, but we get it in when we get it in. When there's a word that people need to hear, we've got to do it. We can't wait a week or two to schedule someone or do something. We got to do it. So tonight you've seen her on my show before. We're going to talk about why is it that you don't bet on yourself? Been there, done that. Still hits me at times. ESP presenter Ellen Suddereth. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Fine, beautiful. How are you?
Hi, beautiful, back at you. I am
Thank
great.
you.
You're welcome.
What's good, Miss Ellen?
Oh, I am excited to talk about this conversation. This is one that we all, like you said, need to hear. And this is an individual self-evaluation. Love the
Right?
conversation, loving the conversation. But I also want to say, Stacey, they may have heard me say this before, but you and I, when I came on your show the first time, I was trying to figure out Stacey because you was on Cyrus' show, and I said I see you for. And Cyrus said,
Excuse me.
"Get with her, right?" But I looked back in my old events and found out that you had supported me before I supported you. I was
Well,
like, oh my goodness, 2008, 2000, somewhere when I first started. So I
ex-
have to do kudos again to that. Thank you
excuse
for
me.
that. Thank
Something's
you. Thank you.
itching. I apologize. It doesn't happen until I get on a live. I'm sorry. Something's itching. Anyway, I'm sorry, Miss Ellen. I didn't want to just pop off the screen. It's just an itch, y'all. I either sneeze or cough or I sniff. I'm sorry. Miss Ellen, when I saw you talking to Cyrus, I said, she looks so familiar. So familiar. And then when you said Virginia, it hit me when I wrote my first book. And when you're an author and you write your first book, it's one thing to have somebody say they've read your book, but it's another thing to go and actually be a part of a book event, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So even though I had to think, do I know her? When you said your area, I said that has to be her. That has to be her.
It's
And it's
me.
something because people, I always say this, excuse me, be careful how you treat people. Be careful how you treat people because you never know. It's almost like you come in a circle when you will meet back up and you may need that person
So
or you
true.
may find that it's something you and that person can do together. People have to remember that. I'm not going to talk you to death about that, but let me tell you something that happened to me one time. So I worked at a weigh station for 21 years, right? Truck drivers. So I was always nice. Nobody never got mad at me for giving them a ticket. It was my personality, I guess. But I ended up leaving Virginia and going to North Carolina. I ended up in a rural area. I ended up stopping at a store in a rural area, me and my girlfriend, right? Feeling like we're a little lost. We didn't have GPS on cell phones then. And
Mm.
I look up and I see some truck drivers in the parking lot. They had been guys that had been across the way station that I remembered, and they remembered me. Very friendly, gave me directions. What would have happened to me if I was in that rural area and I had been absolutely rude to those guys? Would they have
Yes.
helped me?
So true.
You never know.
You
You never know.
never know. You never know.
You never know. So give it to me, Miss Ellen. I think the first thing what are we going to talk about first? Because this is not, listen, people, this is not an interview. This is conversation. So let us know, start this thing off, Miss Ellen.
Okay, so there are three, I'll call it three components that we talk about if we are afraid, or why don't we bet on ourselves. So those three is, why am I afraid? We talk about that. Am I worth it? Why not invest in me? So I grab those three and try to think about it myself as a customer, as a person who's got a customer. What would the customer think like? And not always think that, everybody like me. They don't have to have my product. They don't have to come to me. But what are those things that we do? So one of the things I thought about is, we may think that we want to do something, but we don't believe that it will happen. That's one of the things. So
Mm-hmm.
you're creating your event, you're doing your event, you're telling everybody about it, you sharing your idea. You haven't prepared for it because you talked about it happening. And then when you start preparing for it and it's coming real quickly, you didn't believe it was going to happen. So now that it happened, what are you going to do with that? So you should always prepare whether it's going to happen or not. And one of the other things is, who will be listening? You never know. Just like I put that out when I met you, 2008. We didn't know each other. That time we didn't have internet. We had flyers, and we know that when you have a flyer, you can make 100, 300. You might get 20 out of 300. You may get 20 people to come. And so remember, there's no internet like we talked about. There's no social media like we know today. So those are the things you think about. And so we're just talking about the first component is, why am I afraid? And then one of the other things we might think about is, hmm, somebody may not purchase. They may not. They might. You just keep doing you. Don't worry about if they won't purchase it. Don't worry about those things. So believe in yourself. Who's listening? I didn't coin this, but I heard someone say this, which I believe, Stacy, is show up for you. Just show up for you.
Right, right.
So what about you with that component? Why am I afraid?
Oh wow, let me tell you, I can tell you, I can tell you a few things. I think when I first started out, it's hard to believe that you can do something if you haven't seen anybody else do it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you see people on TV doing it, but you don't know anyone else that's doing it. And if you don't have an example, even if you're an entrepreneur, I think it's easier for entrepreneurs who have parents that are entrepreneurs to become an entrepreneur, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was number one. The other thing is, I didn't realize this until somebody brought it to my attention. Someone said to me when I was writing my book, my stories, but I would not try to publish anything. He says, "Are you afraid?" I said, "Afraid of what?" He says, "Are you afraid of succeeding?" Why would I be afraid of succeeding? But you know what? I was. I didn't
Mm.
realize it, Ellen. I didn't realize it, but it was that fear. But I didn't understand it because if I wanted to be successful, why was I so afraid, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
last thing that will have you afraid is when you open your mouth to people and tell them what your dream is. Naysayers who aren't doing anything, who haven't done anything, don't plan to do anything, they will sit back and tell you it won't work. They will even look at you like what you're saying is too big for you.
Right. So true. So true. That other component that we talked about is, am I worth it? You know,
Mm.
what about you? What are your first? I'm going to turn it over to you and you turn it back to me. Am I worth it? What was that like for you?
So none of this is me Googling anything. This is me just keeping it real. You know me, Ellen. So if
Mm-hmm.
nobody else knows and anybody else that knows me that's watching, know that I'm keeping it real. Um, when I look at what, not now, but there have been times I've looked at what other people are doing. There was a time when I wanted to do my talk show, but I didn't dress like some of the people I saw online.
Ooh.
My English wasn't as good as the people online. I didn't know how to put makeup on. You know what I'm saying, Ellen?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so when I started doing it, I didn't think I was worth investing or betting on myself 100% because I was comparing myself to someone else or to other people. Um, the other thing is what's held me back is I don't have that many followers. Um, I was surprised at my last page. I realized when someone said, "Look at your analytics, Stacey, for your show," and it said 52K, I about fell on the floor because I'm like, "But where are they at?" Right?
Yeah, where they
So
at?
where are they at? But okay, 52K. So Ellen, when I saw that 52K, it's like we got to see numbers. We got to see numbers to feel like we're doing something. And I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
lie, it made me feel very good. Paid someone to do a media kit for me, Ellen. I'm ready to charge people to advertise on the show. Pages got hacked. Everything got hacked. New page, new show, ain't even got 100 friends. Stacey, you gonna sit there and keep worrying about the followers, or you gonna think maybe God did this for a reason? You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Like a Gideon experience. You got
right,
too many people. Go down to
right.
300.
So I had to say, you know what? I can't worry about how many people I got because it's been people like you, Cyrus Webb, a couple friends of mine. They say keep doing it, and then I've been taught what does it. And I had to tell myself this: what does it matter that you don't get to 1,000 people?
Mm-hmm.
What's important? What's important is I get to the people that God wants me to get to.
Exactly.
That may only be 2 people,
Mm-hmm.
but the impact I could have on those 2 people. So why not invest on myself so I can keep this thing going? I can't wait for 100. I just got to keep on talking. someone
Exactly.
someone told me one time they don't do lives because they feel like they're talking to themselves. They don't have anybody watching. Well, if you don't do the live, you're never going to have anybody watching,
So true.
right? And the other thing is, well, I've already pretty much said it. I haven't been doing it long, and my work don't look like Ellen's.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I start questioning myself.
Wow. Comparison kills. So for me, Stacey, is am I worth it? One of the things I talked about, am I charging too much? So that's what make you think that you're charging too much, and what you do is very valuable because they come to you because of the value. But then some I'm not saying in particular, but some might say, uh, let me ask my husband. Let me come back again. So they wanted all what you had until they found out that your value had a worth and it was priceless.
But
Okay.
that would have discouraged me. That would have had me rethinking myself. So give me that therapy, Ellen.
So with that, just like you go to any other store, You go to get your purchase. You don't tell Walmart, you don't tell McDonald's, you don't tell any of those corporations that their prices are too much, because guess what? Somebody else come behind you and they will buy it. We don't ask people to, we
Wow.
don't ask them to lower their prices, but we
Right.
ask others to. So you got to bat that out the way. Are you charging too much? And another thing is, should I lower my prices? No, you should not lower your prices. Because another thing that happened in my circle that I've seen, why is that so low? So if you have a low price, they're thinking, it must not be that good.
Ellen, someone said to me, a coach down in Atlanta, Stacey, what are you charging? I said, well, not thinking about how much I really am worth. I said, well, I was charging such and such. And she said to me, Stacey, I wouldn't pay for your advertisement. I said, you wouldn't? She said, Stacey, if you say $25, $50, I'm wondering what can she possibly be giving me for $50? And my thing was, but people don't know me, or I don't think people are going to pay in this area, but it's the truth, because it's the same way with food. If it's too cheap, I won't buy it.
Exactly.
But I never thought about that, Ellen.
I mean, it's like, what's wrong with it? Why is it so low? And so you start thinking about that. And then others, they're doing it. They're doing the same thing I'm doing. This is all am I worth it? Okay, here's another thing. Do you think that McDonald's wouldn't have other McDonald's in the area because somebody else is doing it? No.
No.
McDonald's on your street, McDonald's on my street, McDonald's on the other street. You can have the same thing, but guess what? They're not you. They're not you. So we have to think about our value. We have to think about our worth and put a price on it. And if somebody doesn't want it, somebody will. That's what I have to say about the I am worth it.
Well, I'm going to say, talking to you, because I always say that I've told you before, you need to do a coaching class. You need to become a coach. So I will say this about Ellen Suddereth from ESP Presents. And you're going to find that the more you listen to her, you'll want to work with her. So Ellen has said to me numerous times, that's your fee. That's your fee. Don't change it. Don't drop it. That's your fee. Ellen, I had a couple people ask about the show, but when I told them, they said, no, that's okay. The right ones will come along.
Exactly.
Your words, you are speaking the truth. It takes patience.
Yes.
And I've learned that even if they don't come as quick as you want them to come, or as many as you want to come, it's a good feeling when the first one comes. It's a great feeling, because now you haven't been talking to the right people.
Exactly.
So I thank you, because now I'm not going to say, Ellen, you ain't going to get no phone calls again from me, but I have to remind myself of that when you say it. So I guess it's my turn.
Yes, it is. Why not invest in me? Why? This is what you're saying to yourself. This is what I'm saying to myself. Why not invest in me? Why don't you invest in yourself?
I, at one time, thought prices were too high. And it may be somebody else that thinks this too. So when you look at what coaches charge, what Ellen charges, what Cyrus charges, what other people charge, you say, are they really charging that? You don't even realize it's not even what they could be charging you, right? So immediately you're afraid of what somebody's charging you. And you say, I'll just do YouTube. I'll just Google it, blah, blah, blah. And I always got something to say about everything I'm saying, Ellen. And here's my point. If you follow someone long enough, if you watch what you're doing, if you watch what they're doing, if you're listening to what they're saying, you will realize the right person that you need to hire. I think we can't do everything ourselves.
No.
So I have to invest in I have to invest in the help. But for a
Mm-hmm.
long time, I used the excuse, I don't have enough money. That was number one, don't have enough money. Well, okay, let's keep it real. Stacey, you can buy them cigarettes. Stacey, you can do this. You'll do that, but you're not willing to spend something on yourself, learning how
Come
to
on now.
promote better.
Mm-hmm.
You I've learned when I'm trying to grow my business, when I'm trying to pursue my passion to bring it into fruition, I've got to invest in
You
myself.
have to.
And if I don't invest in myself to make my platform look better, to make myself promote myself better, why is Ellen gonna want to come on my show?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So that was that. And I guess just so from that, respecting Ellen for what she does and be willing to pay for what she does because I can't do what Ellen does. Stacey got to talking a lot. I got to look at Ellen. There was something else that I wanted to make a point about. Please forgive me.
That's all right.
I don't usually do this, but I did take notes for that. Um I said, oh, what if I pay for help and don't make the money back? That's going to
Mm-hmm.
be money that I've lost, Ellen. I really don't have the money to invest in Ellen's services in the first place. Well, I've watched Ellen. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
what Ellen can do. I don't think it's about what if I pay Ellen the money and I don't become successful. I think it's more about if I pay Ellen the money, am I going to do what Ellen tells me?
Come
Am I
on.
going to take Ellen's advice? Am I
Mm-hmm.
going to let Ellen do what she wants to do? And if I do that, if I'm serious about it, why am I worried about investing in myself?
Exactly.
Or if I'm going to lose money? That's there I
You
go.
are right on all those points, like you said. Okay, for me is like you said, a little similar. I don't have the money, and like you said, you have the money to buy your new dress. You have the money to do that. So invest in yourself. There's someone saying something there.
Hey, Angela, I had a person tell me my prices are too high. I told the person that when she told me my price was too high, I said to her that only too high if you can't afford it, and stood still standing on my prices. Still standing on my prices. I told her that they're only too high if you can't afford it. And she says that she's still standing on her prices. Um, Personally, I don't think in, hey, Angela, I know you have a huge following and I know you do what you do and you know we all do things differently. Personally, I don't know if I would say to someone that they can't I I I don't I don't think I would say to someone that they can't if they're too high they can't afford them. They can't afford me because this is what I learned, and I learned this from Cyrus and Ellen Suddereth on here now. Just because they say they can't do it right this minute, it doesn't mean that they won't come back later.
Mm-hmm.
So, I get it, Angela. You know, that's what you do. But for me personally, I'm just learning that not to take it personal. And if
Mm-hmm.
they say they don't want it, thank you. You have my number and wait, and they'll come back. Some will come back.
So if
Thank
you
you,
don't mind
Angela.
me, with Angela, if I can
Uh-huh.
say something to her, and Angela, that is great. What I learned from doing the business is, you see how you can do something. Maybe that person cannot pay for the whole amount. Then you have them to do installments, and don't do anything unless you paid. If it's $100, have her to put 50 down, and then don't start it until she give you the 50, because then you have business. I'm not saying that she can't go anywhere else, but if you want to have business and you have your same price, but make it affordable installments, and you treat her as if she had paid him or her the whole thing, because you want to have some of that. That's why in our stores where Oriental people are, they will tell you, no, that's too much. and you end up buying a whole bunch of stuff that was a little less than that, but you still spent the same amount. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? They'll tell you that, but you're still buying a whole bunch of stuff. So in that, and it's between yourself. If you want, remember, don't do anything unless you paid first.
Right.
You can do
Angela,
that. That's your own personal business, whether you do an installment, but you make sure you write it down and do anything without getting paid first.
oh, she said she said that was 6 years ago. Okay,
Okay,
Angela. I
even
just
in
didn't want you to.
that.
I just didn't want you to think. If I say I can't afford it, Angela, you tell me. No, if I say that's a little too high, you tell me I can't afford it, and then I'm the broke. My little spirit's Angela Johnson. But Angela said, folks always want stuff free, but will pay Becky $100 for what she charges. It happened too
Exactly.
many times right up under my nose. Oh my goodness.
And
Sweet
exactly,
sister.
still with Angela. So when they say they can't pay, that means they have it, but they don't have it for you.
Right. Is that well, why they don't have it for me, Miss Ellen?
They don't have it for you because they see your value, but they're not ready to value you.
Right. And oh my goodness, I realized this too. And I've heard you say this before, Miss Ellen. And I've had an individual, or I've had a couple individuals quickly dismiss paying me.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I could have said it was $10 and they wouldn't have paid me.
It happens sometimes.
And it just hit me. It just hit me. What is it about me that makes you believe that this is a hobby for me?
Mm.
That's something I've had to say. This thing I'm doing, yes, I have a full-time job. Yes, I do this after hours, sometimes during hours, but don't get this twisted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm building a business here. And if you can't respect that business, we can't do business.
Right.
That's how I'm feeling now because and see, I'm Miss Ellen, you know I like to talk because I'm just seriously thinking you'll go pay such and such to do such and such, but it's something about Stacey you won't pay. My sisters taught me something, and I guess I should have been reminding myself of this a lot. When I first wrote my books, my sisters, I said, I'm gonna give you guys a book. No, you're not. Oh, and I've got a girl, one of my best friends. I've never given them a book.
Mm-hmm.
They've paid for the books. I've never given them a free ticket to an event. They've paid. So if my sisters will pay, why should I give it to you for free?
You're gonna hear some background noise. My husband coming in, but I'm still
Okay.
here.
Okay.
And on that, what you true. And on that, saying that, Stacey, is that when you say they'll buy it from somebody else, but they won't buy it from you, and here's why: because they haven't seen you do it. They've seen Ellen do it, they've seen Cyrus do it, or anybody else, and they see that you are new with what you're doing, and they're not ready because they have not seen anything you've done. When they see what you've done and see what people that maybe in their circle profit from, then they want to come back. They want to see you bake the cake first.
Right.
They
And
want
I've
to
been
see if
told
you
that.
won or became successful first.
Right. Not everybody. So, okay. I agree with that because not everybody that says no doesn't think you're worth it. People have to, like you said, they want to see what you're doing. They need to see what you're doing. So the best thing I can say is out of all of this and what you just said, move out of your own way. Invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself, nobody else is going to invest in you. And if you don't invest in yourself to do better, to promote better, to present yourself better, to speak better, guess what? You're not giving them anything to see. So you're not even going to get that customer.
So true, so true. And I got two more in talking in this. And Angela is saying something up there.
Angela said, let me see. Yeah, I learned my two lessons when I started my t-shirt business. I was making shirts before I got paid. Now I'm still stuck with 11 shirts from 2 years ago, trying to get rid of them now. I get my money in full before I even plug my Easy Press up. Angela, sweetheart. Now I have a couple of customers that if they put orders in, I don't hound them because I know they're my repeated customers. But I have learned I no, you have to pay me. You have to pay me. I have to buy materials. Um and once again it just boils down to this is my business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just learning more and more. This is my business. Free don't get me no gas. Free don't get me no
Okay.
gas. And if I keep it real with you, I don't like being broke. It's not a good
It's
feeling.
not. It's not.
Giving everybody free, free, free. No, you don't get the t-shirt. You pay me my money for the t-shirt so I can order the transfer sheet. Even if I got the money, that ain't none of your business. My
Mm-hmm.
personal money is my personal money. This is business. Give me my business money so I can provide you a good product.
Right. You put a price down.
That
Put
was
half.
a lot for niggas.
Don't. True. Don't start anything until you get paid. And that's one thing I always say. You don't start anything. Oh yeah. Now make sure. Yep. Good job.
I
Okay.
know
So,
that's right.
so I have two more things, Stacy.
Okay.
So we talked about the money. If I don't have money, then you still. I'm sorry about the background noise,
It's
guys.
okay.
If you don't have money, you do have it to invest in yourself. Make it worthy. Say, Ellen, you are worth this. So when I see different things, I've invested $250. I've invested almost $300 in myself. Okay,
Right, right.
on something that I thought that was going to go out there. And here's the other thing to that. What if I lose? You're not going to lose. One of the things to keep a full plan of you not losing. So Stacy and I, we're going to get together and we're going to do something for authors, right? We're going to do an event. So to make sure we don't lose, this is what's going to happen. Stacy and I, we're going to tell people we know, the people that's going to be on the show, they're going to tell people they know. They're going to find their book readers. And that's how you make it happen out that way. If you're not doing that, to make it a full circle of making it happen, everybody that plays a part of this must make it happen. I got to make it happen. Stacy got to make it happen. The authors have to make it happen, and everybody win. So we have to keep in mind that in order to have a successful plan, everybody do their part, and we all can win. What happens? We have to create a space that we will not fail because we're going to do everything we can so that we can all win, and we will.
And if everybody wants to win, just to reiterate that about, if you know you're gonna be, if you're gonna, if why wouldn't you? If you're gonna pay to be a part of an event, why wouldn't you promote?
Right.
Why would you, if you're willing to pay to be a part of an event, why wouldn't you use the time, invest in yourself the time, invest in yourself if you gotta pay $5 or $10 to Facebook to promote you. You're not promoting me. You're not promoting Ellen. You're going to
Exactly.
be at the book fair. Promote yourself. I'm going to help promote, but we have to invest in ourselves. That's plain and simple.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And
And
don't be afraid.
the
And you're going to win. Let's say if you lost. Okay, you lost. You put something on Facebook. So you think you lost.
Mhm.
You put something on Facebook, like you have them, or wherever those media platforms is. You might not think you've done anything, but you will see them on TikTok because people are sharing. So everybody is seeing. You might not get the money at that moment, but it's certainly out there because you share, like and share, click share. And like you said, Stacy, if you are a part of this and you're part of the show, make sure you win, we win, everybody win.
right. And that thing with I like what you said, Ellen, about you may not get the money right then. I have had events and well, I'll give an example. My movie premiere, and I sold a few tickets, and 2 weeks before I sold some more. So it looked like it was going to be a few of us, and I said, you know what? It doesn't have to be a lot of people. I'm going to keep promoting it, but as long as I get to see it myself, it's going to be all right. Well, guess what? People did see it. They wasn't liking the post. They wasn't sharing the post. People bought tickets. I had a full house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's just, people see what you do. So if you think you like even investing yourself in a Facebook ad or something and you don't get any likes or whatever, people see. I run into
Mm-hmm.
people all the time. Stacey, I see you doing such and such. Stacey, I see you doing such and such.
Exactly.
My first question, I ain't gonna lie, Ellen, I keep it real. Well, I ain't seen you like nothing. You ain't shared nothing. I had to make you laugh.
So true. So now we're at the event, Stacey. Say we're at the event, authors are there. What you don't want to do, and you and I talked about this, what you clearly do not want to do is have more authors than readers at your event. You do
Right,
not want that.
right.
You want your readers in there. You want to not charge readers because you're going to be fed some kind of a way. So your readers come in there, even if you have your books. And you might remember when I had my show when you came,
Mm-hmm.
the authors that are there. If you had some books sitting on your shelf for about 2 or 3 years, you put it in your thing and you make like a package deal. You
Have a
put your
deal.
latest book and you put two that you had on the shelf or something like that. And then you make your 3 book deal. Don't think you're losing something. If something is $45 and then you put 2 books in there and you lost $5, you got 40.
Right.
You
So
know what I'm saying?
right. And for anybody that just started listening, Ellen's talking about the book fair that's coming up in August in Newport News, Virginia, August 2025. And Ellen, readers can come in for free,
Yes.
right? We do know that, and more information will come. But Ellen's giving some good advice how to make some sales. I'm gonna have to take notes myself because am I allowed to bring? Am I
Yeah.
am I selling
Bring
my
your
book?
t-shirt, bring your stuff, bring your interview. Yes, you are. And authors that want to be interviewed by you, that's a package deal for that. Books on the table. And so, like I was saying, you're at the event, authors. If you don't make one sale, we don't push your books. You have to understand that it's you. I'm not the author. You
Right,
are. You can
right.
sell your books by engaging with your readers. If you don't engage with that reader, one reader could start a fire. She can
Yes.
say, Stacey didn't even talk to me. She just wanted me to buy her book. You develop a family, a readership. It's
Right.
author plus readership equals smiles equal income.
Wow.
Now
And
they
I
may walk away. They may walk away and they might see your book, Stacey, on the table, walk away and not purchase it and walk back and say, you know what? She didn't even ask me to buy her book. I'm going to buy one for my friend, my cousin, everything because
right.
she had a wonderful engagement with you.
Right. And speaking of the book fair, and investing in yourself, I'm going to take a minute now to show you a commercial. Um, if you are an author, if you're a new author and you don't know how to promote yourself, you don't have time to promote yourself, but you want someone that has a platform that's full of readers, that would be, let's look at the video, then I'll tell you.
Are you an author looking for exposure for your book? Then look no further. ESP Presents assists authors in building their book brands. They offer author interviews that provide the opportunity to delve into your book and personal experiences, as well as engage with readers to help build your fan base. They also host live events. So whether mainstream or independent, all authors can find support with ESP Presents.
All
You
right
did it,
then.
girl. You did your thing, girl.
Would,
I don't
would
know if
you?
you guys paid any attention to the people that were on the video. I actually met them. Some of them I'm actually host. Now, if you notice, one of those was Trisha Thomas of Napoli Ever After. I hosted her here in Newport News, Virginia, and she allowed me to host her 10-year anniversary of Napoli Ever After. I
Really?
don't have no big name. I'm not a New York Times bestseller, nothing, but everything I did started off with New York Times bestseller. And people didn't believe me because I didn't do indie. I didn't know about indie writers. I just decided, okay, I'm going to host authors. I never knew they were going to start off at the top.
Look at God. You have to, I guess when I think about it, oh, you blessing me tonight, Ellen. You have to believe in yourself.
You have
You
to.
have to believe in yourself. And let me tell you something that helps me, Ellen. Look at this right here. It says, this is one of my t-shirts. It's business. I'm a boss. It's
Yes,
not to brag. The things that I put on my t-shirts, the things that I speak out loud when I wake up in the morning, it makes me feel good. It reminds me, Stacey, this is a business. If
yes.
someone tries to make me think it's a hobby, this is a business and
Come
I'm
on.
a boss and I've got to take my role on. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
Ellen, so
Mm-hmm.
that was your video. That's Ellen that can help the authors promote their books before they come.
Yes.
And these, what I have on the screen, is that how they reach out to you?
Yep. They can reach out me there. And absolutely, I care about what I do. I care about. Here's the thing, Stacey. Like you know already, I host New York Times bestsellers, award winning, newly published. Newly published are my babies. This is why. Please don't just put your book anywhere. Tender your baby. I talked about this before. I don't care if you got your book yesterday. I don't care if you got it this week, only 1 week in your hand. Please see me. Please see me. I will give you a platform. Most people won't do that. They will not let you be on there because they don't know you. I don't care that I don't know you. Somebody will. One of the ladies, I think I told you this before, it was a long time ago, a girl named Kiara Lee. She had a book. She was talking about colorism, talking about in a children's book. And I hosted her. Guess what? Not too long ago, it wasn't a whole year ago, I look on TV. She was with Soledad.
Really?
Yes, she was on her show. I was like, I just hosted her. Wow.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
It,
So don't
so,
worry that you knew. The book is going to get out there. Like Stacey said before, as long as I do it, you know who your followers, you know who your readers, invite them. We'll have an application for you to do all those lovely things on there. And like we say, you will not be disappointed.
wow. Ellen,
Yes.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I am proud of you. And this was some challenging work because I have been asked, oh, so you host authors and you do all this. Did you go to college? No, I just did it. What do you mean you just did it? I just did it. It was my passion. I didn't have any college or nothing on this. My knowledge was the school of hard knocks. That was my knowledge.
Wow.
Lots
It's
of tears, lots of being fired by my husband. He gonna get me for saying this. This started to look like a hobby. Ellen, you need to do something.
I
And
know,
I
I
did.
know. I think Lover probably has had that on his mind a couple times. Well, a few times when I say, "Oh, I need." You know what I'm saying? So it's not even about that, but I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to need. So you know what? I don't know about y'all. I'm gonna keep making a way to invest in myself. I
Yes,
understand now why even the coaches that are making money have coaches and their coaches have coaches because we need help. We need help.
yes,
You don't invest in yourself. If I don't see you growing or you doing something different, why am I going to trust you to help me? So if you want someone, if you want people to follow you and to read your books, get with Ellen. Let her help you promote. Then they're going to be like, ooh, she was on the ESP Presents. Ellen,
yes. And
it's
you
been
too, Stacy. You too. Your show. Get on
okay.
her show. Get on
Well,
your show, Stacy.
then let's take another commercial break before we end.
Yes. Yes.
Want to be heard? Get featured on The Stacey Thomas Show. Join Stacey for conversations on entertainment, books, and entrepreneurship. Don't miss out. Elevate your brand today. Book your interview now. Email staceythomas@gmail.com.
Yes, 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 yes. You guys are in for a treat. Both of us found each other, lost each other, found each other again. I don't know how Stacey found me. But Stacey, again, I must say, in front of those who view or in replay time, I don't know how you found me when you did that first event, my first debut.
I know how I found you.
How did you find me?
They said the devil would take bad and make it into no. Back up. God will take bad and turn it to good.
Wow.
That's all I should have said.
Wow.
Well, I hooked up with one person. I hooked up with someone. So okay. So that was a blessing. I hooked up with someone and they knew about your event. Things didn't work out between me and that person. But that's what I mean when I say God will take what's meant for bad to lead to good to good, because I was a part, not only was I a part of that, and thanks to her for that. But look at us now.
Yes. Yes.
You know, so
and there was no social media. All we had was printing papers.
Right.
I didn't have any followers. Like I said, no followers. Hosting, like I said, hosting Trisha Thomas, hosting Victoria Christopher Murray.
Omar,
he was my debut. Omar Tyree.
Kimberly.
Yes. Kimberly, I did online. I haven't hosted her in person, but I've hosted her several times online. Kimberly Lawson Roby.
Okay. Alan, did we touch on everything, or did I?
I think it was something I was going to say, but I kind of got off, meaning that I got knocked off line. I don't know if you realize that, but investing in yourself, believing that you are worth the investment, and just watch it grow. If you got tears, if you stumble and fall, use those rocks as stepping stones, use those tears as fertilizers to grow. You're going to have some tears. You're going to have some disappointment, but don't give up on you. Always show up. And I say I did not coin this, but always show up for you.
Wow. And I'm going to say one of your biggest things, if you are dealing with what I've dealt with, fear. I need you to remember something. Fear blocks blessings. The very thing that you fear, you're afraid to invest in yourself, is the very thing that's blocking you from receiving your blessing. That's another thing that I remind myself about. You have to push through fear.
Yes.
And I guess doubt and all of that comes up under it, but fear blocks blessings. Faith brings blessings.
So true. One more thing, you helped me out. So this is very important. When you're doing your events, I've done this. That's why I want to share this. Stop doing events with your heart. Be honest with what's in your pocket, because your heart will always fail you because you want to do a lot of stuff. Your heart will dictate that to you. Don't listen. Listen to what's in your budget. That's facts.
I've overfed people because I like to eat and didn't make a profit. I have a friend that says, "Why do you have so much food at your event, Stacey?" No, that's not the only thing, but
now the food is good. You should always have over in abundance. You don't want to run. The food was good. I've had no food. No, you don't want that.
I've had to learn to do appetizers. Don't feed people like it's Thanksgiving. I'm country.
Yeah, because you want to have appetizers every way. They won't go to sleep on the author stuff.
Miss Ellen, it's been great.
Same here.
It's been great.
Thanks for letting me have this here. And remember, why am I afraid? Think about those things. Ask your question. Put 3 examples of why are you afraid? Put 3 examples of am I worth it? And put 3 examples of why not invest in me. And as you say, bet on you. Thank you, Stacey.
Have a great night, sweetheart.
You too as well.
I'll see you. We'll see each other at the book fair. August.
Yes, we will.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Want to be heard? Get featured on the Stacey Thomas Show. Join Stacey for conversations on entertainment, books, and entrepreneurship. Don't miss out. Elevate your brand today. Book your interview now. Email StaceyThomas@gmail.com.